Hi everyone, welcome back to Watch It Played. My name is Rodney Smith. In this episode, we're going to continue our playthrough of Dead of Winter, but first there's a couple of little mistakes I need to correct. In our last episode, Andrea was doing a search at the gas station, and a crossroad card triggered, interrupting that action. And then we forgot to let her finish the search. And that's why in the rules it states that if a crossroad card goes off in the middle of an action, fully complete the action first. That way you don't forget to later, like we did. So what we did to correct this was off camera, we had Andrea draw the top card from the gas station deck and then look at the next card, which is what her ability would have allowed her to do. Also, I want to take a quick moment and explain how noise tokens work. We talked about this in the instructional video, but I still got lots of questions about this. So let me just clarify. When you conduct a search by using a die, you draw the top card of the location where you're at, and then you can choose to keep that card if you want. If you want to do another search, you can use another die and then draw another card, take that one as well. However, if you use a single die, instead of taking the card you've drawn, you can first place a noise token at that location to draw a second card. Now you're not going to be able to keep both. You're only going to be able to keep one of them, but now you have more options. So if you still don't like your options, maybe you're trying to dig for that one card you really need to satisfy your objective or to try to help with the crisis, you can place another noise token, draw another card, and then, once again, when you're ready, you can pick one, putting the rest of them back at the bottom of the location deck. You can continue making noise like this to draw more cards as long as there's empty spaces for those noise tokens. But just keep in mind, that noise is going to potentially attract more zombies during the colony phase, so there is a risk to it. Alright, that's everything I wanted to talk about. I do hope you'll stick around till the end of this episode because I have something very cool that I want to show you. But let's get back to the gameplay. Alright, well we're back and we've been joined by
Luke Smith
and
Andrea.
And you guys once again gave us a whole bunch of great suggestions. I took two of the suggestions that got the most votes, kind of put them together. They were quite similar and they came from Luigi Nikon and Tyler Smith. And then I also put together some great story elements as well from different people. So I used Stephen Garrison, Don Perry, and Tyler Smith's contributions. Used a little bit of wording from each of their story elements here, put a few of my own in there as well. And let's give you some of that narration right now. Janet was huddled up behind the nurse's station, rubbing her hands together, the tips already turning blue.
James,
She muttered, looking at him.
I'm so cold. Help me, please.
Before James could reply, his walkie-talkie cackled.
James, I found some medicine here at the gas station.
It was Sophie.
Should I bring it for Janet?
Janet was about to respond, but James covered her mouth. Sophie, Janet is dead. I'm coming to you. James clicked off the walkie-talkie. Janet stared, bewildered. I'm sorry, my dear, said James, but we don't want Sophie rushing back in these harsh conditions. I've studied your wounds and learned all I can from them. I need someone healthy to run more tests on. Try to sleep. James didn't feel panic as he rushed through the hospital corridors, his flashlight carving a path down cluttered halls and abandoned rooms. He felt excitement. The undead may be everywhere, just as Forrest said they would be, but James could see a solution was not far off. His tests would yield results. All right, well, thanks again for that narration. Excellent. And now it's time for us.
Seems a little bit suspicious.
Suspicious.
What seems suspicious?
First of all, you want to cover up James' mouth. You want to die. You want the game.
No, I don't. I wanted her.
to
I was
fail.
trying to keep her from causing Sophie to think there was something to worry about. I'm a psychiatrist. I got this all under control. We're going to get some medicine. We're in the hospital. I'm going to get some medicine. You're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. All right, time for us to continue with the playthrough. Join us here at the table and let's see what we're going to be doing next. All right, as I've been doing pretty much every turn, I'm going to use James's ability to re-roll one of my dice here. I have a 1, and hopefully I can get something a little better. Okay, I got a 2. That's not good, because what I'm really trying to get is a 3 here, and my other die is also a 2. I need a 3 so I can do a search because I'd like to find some medicine maybe to help out our friend Janet. So I'm going to have to spend a food from the food supply in order to put one of my dice up to 3. And then I'm going to use that 3 to search.
If you have some junk in your hand, why don't you just use that instead of using the food?
Well, I who says I have junk?
We know you did because you picked some up.
Look, there's not enough food there to feed the colony anyway, so I may as well take what I can. Now let's just ignore all these distractions that people are trying to throw up here. Before I use an action to search, I'm going to equip this flashlight that I picked up at the hospital earlier, and it has an ability that says, once per round, when making noise, you may look at 3 additional cards instead of 1.
Okay, so that is helpful if you get some medicine.
Yes, exactly.
Let's hope you actually pick the medicine.
Yes, I'm looking for medicine. Just don't be looking at my cards here. Okay, so this first one is not medicine, but I am going to use a noise token so I can search, and this will let me draw 3 additional cards. Now look at Andrew, you guys don't look. I want to show the audience here what I have found so far in my searching. All right, there's one of the cards I get to draw additionally. There's another one, and another one. Now I have to keep one of the items I collected. Unfortunately, guys, I did not find any medicine in this hospital. Now I want to say here, I don't like the dirty looks that I've been getting, particularly from this side of the table. My son, I think, is still with me here. But you have been
Suspicious?
very suspicious this
Yeah.
last couple of actions I've taken here. What's the matter?
Well,
We know who's been not throwing stuff into the crime scene.
okay,
Like
that was
junk?
an honest mistake.
I tried to find medicine.
Honest.
Oh,
couldn't
come
find it.
on. The hospital has the most medicine possible. It would be so hard not to find any.
I think we did pick out some medicine though from it already.
Yeah.
And so it's probably, if there's anything left, it might be at the bottom of the deck. So it's happened. It happens
Okay,
sometimes.
you know
never-
what then?
What?
How about you just request for some medicine?
That's a good idea.
Because then, if you take it and don't use it on Janet, that's proof to my brother who wants to point against me, and proof that he's the betrayer.
Listen, I'm happy to put it on the line here. Yes, if you have medicine, please give me your medicine because then I can heal Janet. So,
Where's your medicine, Luke?
I don't have any.
oh, no medicine.
I do.
Okay, well, thank you very much for this.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much for this medicine. James pockets the medicine and continues on his way.
See?
Hi everyone, future Rodney here. Very sorry for this interruption, but past Rodney made another one of his classic mistakes. You know it, I know it. You can't request items and then not use them. You have to use them right away. I've talked about this multiple times during the playthrough. I got a little caught up here with being evil and trying to perform what is classically known in Plaid Hat circles as a jerk move. Take that medicine and then not use it on the person who needs it. Now, in this case, I would have had to have used it right away, put it in the waste pile, and then targeted the only legal person at the table, which was Janet. That would have actually healed Janet 1 wound, and then Luke wouldn't have lost that character at the start of his turn, which would have changed a couple of things. But what it wouldn't have changed is the final outcome. The outcome of the game, the winners and losers, would still have been the same based on what was going to happen. But I thought it was important to clarify that rule so you don't make that mistake in your own games. But let's go back to the gameplay and see how things played out the way they were originally recorded.
I think I might have just been outed there.
Vote to exile!
Okay, now, a vote to exile can only be done on your turn as one of your actions. It's still my turn. Thank goodness. Let me think. Is there...
I'm not the betrayer.
What if there's 2 of them? What if I'm the only?
No, there's only
one betrayer. There's only one betrayer. I think... let me just take a quick look at my hand here. Just don't look at what's in my hand. We know there's some medicine in here. Okay. I do have something I want to play.
Can you help us?
It's not medicine.
Of course it's not.
It is 2 outsiders. Event. Add the top card of the survivor deck to your following and place their matching standee at the colony. Add 1 helpless survivor token to the colony. Okay, so I'm going to be adding 1 more follower, and I have drawn Bev Russell. She's a mother. Her special ability is at the colony. Using a 1 or higher action die, once per round you may kill 2 zombies at the colony as long as there is at least 1 helpless survivor token at the colony. Do not roll for exposure. Okay, we've added Bev to the colony. A helpless survivor has been added.
You should use that against the zombies so we could possibly get 2 more zombie tokens and complete the main objective. Too bad you're a betrayer and don't want that to happen.
Hold on now. We have
10.
10 samples. So if I killed 2 zombies and rolled well,
Yep.
I could. I don't want to put Bev's life at risk. I mean,
She doesn't even have to roll for exposure.
Yeah, but look at all these other zombies here. She just arrived at the colony. She's exhausted. She's not up for that.
Don't even.
You know what I would like, though? I would like this 2 to be a 3. Does anyone have some junk so I can re-roll?
I'm done giving you stuff.
Damn me, mister.
Oh, no, I think I've turned them all against me.
Good.
Well, okay, there's nothing else that I can do here for my turn. I am done. So the crossword card, has it resolved?
No.
Nothing's happening there? Okay. Luke, it's your turn. I'm going to draw a crossword card for you. Let me just take a quick peek, see if it resolves. It does not. Luke, at the start of your turn, we have some bad news.
Good for you.
Janet, unfortunately, was not able to get healed from the medicine. She has frostbite. She's going to take another wound, and that is going to kill Janet at the very start of Luke's turn, which is going to drop morale to 0. As soon as morale drops to 0, the game is over. So now, if there's a traitor here, there's a possibility they won. If the people who are not the traitor, okay, they automatically lose because morale went to 0 and the objective was not completed.
Yeah.
What's your secret objective here, Andrew? Why don't you reveal to us what you had?
Oh, if I'm the traitor or not?
Yes,
Is that what you want me to reveal?
Yes, please show us.
Are you ready?
Yes.
No blood on the bottom.
Okay.
So I'm not the traitor.
Yours said the way back home.
Yes. So the main objective had to be completed, which didn't happen.
Very close though.
And I had to have at least 2 fuel cards, 1 food, and 1 weapon.
And how close did you get? Did you get any of those items?
I had a fuel and that was it, but it was really hard because the places that I wanted to go that had these items at them
Yes.
weren't places that the main objective would have wanted me to go.
Right, or the crisis probably,
Yeah,
right?
so I was never getting my items ever.
You got one. You got one item.
Yeah.
What about you? Were you the traitor, Luke?
No, I'm not. But look at this title.
It says that you were the hoarder. The hoarder.
You win the game if all the following is true. The main objective has been completed. You have more cards in your hand than any other player. I have like the least, I think.
I think I'm the
I have two.
hoarder. I was hoarding at the end.
Oh yeah.
I just saw like 2 medicine in there.
Okay.
What? Can I drink?
Let's put this whole thing to rest. Let me prove my innocence. I am
Traitor!
I am the mad scientist. Okay. Morale has to be at 0. Mission accomplished. But I also have to have at least 2 survivors in my following.
That's why you put out the person at the end. I knew
But
it.
I needed 2 in my following. So James
Oh, wait
doesn't
a second.
count.
So you don't get it either.
So I don't get it either. I
What's
was
your other
this
thing?
close. So the other thing is I had to have at least 2 medicine cards. Oh yeah, I got medicine. I got 3 medicine. Thanks to the gift from Andrea. And then I needed 2 tools. And I have junk here. So I could have re-rolled to try to get this to a 3 to go searching for more outsiders. But I knew that we were going to get overrun. There was no way we were going to survive here. People
So
were going
no
to die.
one wins.
So actually, no one wins. I was.
That makes
this
me a
close.
little bit happy though.
Make you feel a little better.
If the heroes aren't going to win, at least the villains aren't going to win.
I
either.
tell you something though. I thought I was close. If I had pulled out an outsider that would let me take 2, then I could have pulled it off there. And I think there are a few in there. I didn't get one, so that was it. I have to say, the playing in hardcore mode really made it challenging across the board, but not just for the good guys. Also for me as well. I think there were some comments, people were saying, well, this is going to be a lot easier because morale is just going to drop so much quicker. That's true. I think morale did drop quickly, in part because we had a little help here from our friend. Innocent mistake, that happens in games.
See?
Yes, Andrew, you have been absolved of all guilt. But I just want to point out here, it's very important to see, although I want morale to get to 0, I don't want it to get there before I've completed my objective either. So for all of us, the tension was ratcheted up by this hardcore mode. Now, if we had played On the easier mode, it certainly would have given us all a little more breathing room. I think that is true.
Would we have won?
Well, it certainly would have changed how I played, because right now we have 10 samples and you would have only needed 9. And we still have a couple of rounds to go. You guys were actually making excellent progress towards completing the main objective. I probably would have had to have played quite a bit more...
Cutthroat.
A little more cutthroat. I would have had to be a little more obvious, perhaps. I was fortunate. Most of this I could kind of fly under the radar.
Oh, I didn't know it all until this last.
Well, I had
turn.
some good, very good help and suggestions from the viewers to help guide me along.
How dare you?
Yes. Well, listen, I hope that you guys enjoyed seeing how the game plays out. Obviously, every time you play this game, it's going to be quite different, because even if you're playing the same scenario, you're going to have different survivors, different objectives, different crises are going to come up and interfere, different crossroads. We had a number of those activate, didn't we, during the playthrough, which was pretty neat. But, of course, if you have any questions at all about anything you saw here, don't hesitate to put them in the comments below. I know some people were curious about how some of these exile cards affected things. Let's say I had been called out.
Okay, which we were planning to do. I told Luke we had to exile him if it got to his turn, but that did not happen.
I felt pretty confident being a little more obvious about being a traitor at this point in the game.
You knew that it wouldn't. You would have been outed.
The game was going to end. For example, this exiled card says that if you're not the betrayer, you reveal your secret objective. This way people know that they exiled the wrong person. And then you get a new secret objective, which is listed here. However, if you are the betrayer, you keep your secret objective to yourself, but now it changes the first objective, which in my case was reducing morale to 0, to needing to have at least 3 tool cards in my hand. Something else I should mention as well, on the bottom of these betrayal secret objectives, there's a little paragraph here, and it says, if you were not exiled and won the game, read section S19 on page 19 of the rulebook, for example. This just gives a specific piece of storytelling that you can add in if the betrayal person wins, which I did not. So close.
And thanks to you guys for all the great narrative stories that you added for us to use.
That's right, because the game comes with a bunch, but we added some in ourselves, and you guys certainly did as well. And that was a lot of fun for us to sort of
see the connections between the characters and just the flow of the game.
Yeah,
really
our
cool.
little world here kind of developed, which was really, really cool. And something else that's really cool that I want to tell you guys about. The reason why I'm able to create these videos for Watch It Played full time, with the help of my wonderful co-hosts, is because each year we have a fundraiser and our viewers donate to that and support it so I can continue making these videos. At the time of this recording, we're very soon going to be launching our 4th season fundraiser. 4th.
This feels like our, I don't know, 2nd maybe?
I know, we've been doing this for a while. It's pretty wild. But we had some great support come to us from our friends over at Plaid Hat Games. They actually created a special promo card. It's not this big, by the way. It's a crossroad card that we could give away during our fundraiser to the people who support us. Let me just read off the card and show it to you here. The first thing you're going to notice about this card, front and center, is actual artwork. The crossroad cards don't typically have this, but we have a picture of Luke here. We sent over these photographs of Luke Smith, and the artist for Dead of Winter did a great job of bringing him to life and put all these wonderful little touches in the background. You can see here a Canadian-styled transport truck plowing over zombies. In the bottom right-hand corner of the card is our little red meeple from our logo, just to signify this is a special promo card. And the effect itself does something interesting. If there's at least one helpless survivor in the colony, then this crossroad card will activate.
I'm not helpless. I'll stay close. I promise.
And then this automatically happens. You remove one helpless survivor from the game, so Luke Smith is no longer a helpless survivor. He's going to do something useful. You attach this card to a survivor you control, and it gains the following ability. At non-colony locations at the beginning of your turn, roll a die. On a result of 5 or higher, draw a card from any item deck. So again, I just want to say a very quick thank you to Isaac Vega, Colby Dowk, and the whole crew over there at Plaid Hat Games for coming up with this great little promo card for us to be able to give away during the fundraiser. That's fantastic. And thanks to all of you guys, whether you're able to support us in the fundraiser or not, we're just so glad that you come and you watch our shows, you comment, and you participate, and you're a little part of our community. That's a wonderful thing. I hope you'll continue to watch and see the new games that we feature. But until the next episode, thanks for watching.